Hey everyone, welcome to the Pace Studios. My name is Brad and we are with Amy Racine today. Amy, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Amy's the wine director at the John Fraser Restaurants. We partnered with our friends over at Wines of Germany today, and we are going to talk about German sparkling wine. We are going to talk about Sekt. And when we talk about Sekt, Amy, we talk about what are we talking about? Can you give us an overview of what this is? And that's the question.
Sure. Sekt is to Germany what Champagne is to France, what Cava is to Spain, what Prosecco is to Italy. It is Germany's traditional sparkling, and it comes in a variety of styles and a variety of production methods, but they are delicious and should drink a lot more of them.
Yes,
for sure.
Outstanding. We are going to get right into that right now.
Great.
Can we, right before we get into these, can we talk about how they're broken down, how they're classified, and what some of the terms that we see on the labels mean?
Sure. So Sekt, a lot of what you're going to find on the market is a dry style, and often what you're going to find on the label is the variety that might be used, not always, but sometimes. In this case, with this bottle, it's Riesling, the region, Rheingau, and then the producer.
So we're going to dive into, I believe this is one of the, on the more affordable end of the spectrum, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us what we're getting into? And as the whole thing happens, can you also tell us a little bit about the drinking culture, the culture that surrounds that in Germany?
Sure. So this is Lights, and this is all Riesling. Germans love to drink sparkling. I'll protect you.
Everybody loves. No. Don't
Yeah.
at all. Just make it theatrical. Everybody loves to drink sparkling wine.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
And the Germans love their bubbles, and they love dry styles of wine. So this is going to be a very dry Riesling, and we often think of Riesling as having a lot of sugar and being very sweet. There's actually, in the still and sparkling versions, a lot of really great dry Rieslings out there. And this is one of them in the sparkling world.
Cheers. Happy
Cheers.
Friday.
Happy Friday. So really dry Riesling, which means that there's going to be a lot of acidity. It's going to be very tart, a lot of citrus.
As I enjoy this guy, I mean, when talking about fancy wines and literally in the middle of making a video about wines, my first instinct is to swirl this guy around. Is that something that people do with sparkling wines generally, or would that immediately separate me as someone who has no idea what they're doing?
No, I think swirling a sparkling wine is a great thing to do. There's, especially with Riesling, a lot of layers of flavor and a lot of fragrance. There's mineral, there's fruit, sometimes there's a little spiciness. So swirling it definitely helps to bring out all of those flavors. And I love to drink it out of a glass like this as well, rather than a flute. So you do have that room to swirl a little bit if you'd like.
All right, so this one is absolutely delicious, and we've got more drinking to be done this afternoon. What's coming up second?
So the first one that we had is a Riesling, which is a grape that you find pretty often for Sekt. This is a grape called Ebling. And Ebling is a grape that was used traditionally for Sekt, and it kind of went out of fashion a little bit. There's a lot of acidity here as well, and I think it's really exciting to see a traditional grape for Sekt coming back and being made by a great winemaker.
So everybody associates sparkling wine with a birthday party, with New Year's Eve, etc. Can you talk about some other occasions that are equally appropriate and make just as much sense to drink this wine as the ones that people traditionally think of?
Sure. As somebody that just loves all sparkling, I try to push for bottles like Sekt to be consumed any day of the week. I like them for any occasion, whether it's just going out to dinner on a normal night of the week or for celebrating. And I really think it goes well with an entire meal if you'd like it to. So you can start with something like a salad or something lighter, and then move into like fried chicken and sparkling wine, for example, is a great way to go. And who doesn't want to end on a glass of sparkling? So these two bottles especially are great for really any occasion. They're great to bring to somebody's house. If you're going to somebody's house for like a barbecue or anything like that, most people don't buy sparkling for themselves. So really any occasion, I think we should be pulling
Good.
corks on
Well, I
sparkling.
love the fact that the sentence fried chicken and sparkling wine was just said, because I don't think I've ever heard that in any other context. So
Yeah,
well done.
and French fries.
Yeah. Yes. Good.
Yeah.
Good. As we get into our third option right here, can you tell us what this might pair nicely with?
Sure. So this last one it's a rosé, so you'll see the color is a little bit darker. It's made with Pinot Noir, so it does have a little bit more of a pink tint to it. This one's a little bit more of a special occasion sparkling, even though I love it for any occasion. This one is something that has a lot of minerality to it. It's a little bit more kind of tart raspberry, a little bit more tart plum. And this is something that, again, is great as an aperitif. Almost all bubbles are, but if you want to do something like some sparkling wine with that tartar fruit flavor with it, like a game bird for duck, or if you want to do something like lamb that has a little bit more gaminess, that fruitiness and a little bit of game meat is kind of like the equivalent of putting cranberry sauce over turkey or a fruit compote over duck. So I love this with an entree is kind of what I'm getting at.
Gotcha. What about the non-carnivores out there? What would you for a meatless option pair with this guy?
Something heavily roasted, like if you ever had heavily roasted eggplant with that like smoky char on the outside. And usually if you go more Mediterranean with something like eggplant where there's like a little yogurt or something with a little bit more tang, it brings out the tartness of the fruit that's on this. Tomato, anything with great acidity, naturally mushrooms are a lot of fun with rosé. So any vegetable, I can't think of one that wouldn't go well with.
Well, I'll drink to that. Mushrooms are a lot of fun. Outstanding. This is so good. We've got 3 bottles of wine to drink. Happy Friday. I know you got to go to work right now, but we're at work and doing this, and this has been an absolute pleasure. Amy, thank you for coming here and doing this. We appreciate it. Thank you for watching.